Let's talk about Gotham Knights a little bit because, you know, I've seen a lot of shit going around about, Red Hood and all this shit, but like, niggas don't really know what they're talking about. Like, it's the funniest thing because, like, the gameplay that we saw was definitely from like a pre-build. Like, this is like a last gen build that we saw with Nightwing and Red Hood, the gameplay we just saw. I'll put a clip of it right here. And it kind of amazes me, like, that people don't know what they want. I guess you put it that way. Like it just like it amazes me that people can ask for something, but when they get it, like, I don't want that. It's not what I wanted. But this is what you asked for. So let's break down. Red Hood in the game, obviously, we all know, is very controversial right now. He has spiritual jumping, is what people are calling it. He's able to, from when he got resurrected by the Lazarus pit, he's able to leap in air and double jump. And
his design overall is pretty trash, but that's beside the point. But,
I mean, as a Red Hood fan in the comics, that nigga ugly. like they draw him to be a very good looking guy, but he's ugly. Like, he's the ugliest person in DC, and they make fun of him for it all the time. That's why he wears the mask, like the full helmet mask. But the design doesn't bother me. It's the people not wanting originality is what bothers me. Like, we get something different. They said they want their own forms of transformation, like transportation for each of the characters. They get it. This ain't what I want. I want a Batmobile. Okay.
I want Arkham Knight.
I want Arkham Knight. Didn't y'all literally say that game is just Batmobile Simulator? Like, y'all niggas hated. Y'all hated the Batmobile, but you want it again.
And then niggas said they hated the free flow combat. Now they want the free flow combat.
Man, like,
and I really think that the combat that they put in the game, like, because in the free flow combat, you was just bullet jumping across the map, hitting people across, like, whatever area you were in.
Right.
But I feel like it makes more sense now. Like, it was more structured down and realistic that Nightwing, he's not bullet jumping across the map. Instead, he's doing these flips to get to enemies and hit them instead of doing that unrealistic.
Instead of just literally just tapping into the speed force to go to a different section of a damn building and hitting a nigga, going back to another section, flailing your cape, stun him, multiple fucking speed force punches, and then knock him out with a damn shotgun punch.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. Then the whole Nightwing Fortnite glider, like, shut up. Like, he has a glider in the comics. He's used it multiple times. It's literally like exactly the same in the comics. But again, people don't like originality. They want what's in their mind. They want what's in their mind. But the thing about it is, though, these people don't have minds. They're NPCs. I don't even know this. Most people that clown on things on the internet are literal NPCs. They take up space. They literally just fill up space so that this world is less, like, empty. I don't know if you know that.
Here's the thing about the Nightwing glider too, because you hate the Nightwing glider, but what do you expect Nightwing to have? Because Batgirl and Robin, okay, Robin has his teleporter, Batgirl can glide.
That's another thing.
Is Robin supposed to have? I mean,
that's another thing I was about to get into. Like, they didn't say anything when they showed up that Robin has a damn teleporting slingshot.
Exactly.
This man has a Bart Simpson slingshot that he's able to tap into the Justice League Watchtower satellite and teleport across the map. Not gonna talk about how little that makes sense, but the guy that literally got resurrected by a supernatural pool of sludge, being able to tap into his own spiritual energy and make it manifest into a physical object, that's the thing we can't believe. But nah, just teleportation from a damn satellite is what we believe.
That's the big outlier. We can't believe that one.
Like, I saw a video the other day. Like, this guy was talking about going on this rant about Gotham Knights, and he said that he would much rather it have just been a grappling hook to get around than their individual transportations. Ain't that just Arkham City and Arkham Origins? That's literally what that is.
I'm telling you right now, he says that, but he's gonna, if that was, say that's a real thing, he'll get the game and he'll be like, it's too slow for me to get to my objectives, and then he'll complain about that
Oh my
because it
god.
would be too slow to
Exactly.
get to your.
That's like my one gripe with Arkham City and Arkham Origins. Like it is slow to get across that map. Like that ass. It is very
It's a big
slow.
map.
It's very slow. I don't know if y'all have played Arkham City recently. I have. It's very slow to get across that map compared to Arkham Knight. Like y'all underappreciated the use of the glide boost in the fucking Batmobile. Those things are amazing. Like you tell me I can just hold a button and be able to be across this other side of the map to go fight some militia niggas in like 30 seconds, and it's besides the 5 minutes it's gonna take me if I just glide on top of a roof, run, jump off that roof again, grapple, have to climb onto the building, run, jump off the building and glide again. Nah, I'm not taking that.
Like I feel like the reason people like Arkham City, because yes, the gliding in Arkham City is slow also, but it's a more spatial. It's like smaller map, smaller area. And then you got Arkham Knight, 3 different islands that you gotta traverse, and it takes you like about 5 minutes tops to get across the map. So man,
it's just like, but like my whole thing is like the gameplay that we saw with Arkham Knight. I mean, sorry, not Arkham Knight. Nightwing and Red Hood is like I feel like that gameplay is from a last gen version of the game, and that's why it got canceled, because they saw the backlash of what happened and they decided to just scrap the last gen version of it because of how sluggish and stiff people are calling it. They're calling it sluggish and stiff, but you're forgetting that we saw the Batgirl and Robin gameplay that was produced on PC. It was the PC build of the game. Looks beautiful. It's smooth. It's quick. Her movement is amazing. The game looks crisp. Like there's little to no problems with that version of the game, and that's from 2 years ago. But we're seeing 2 years now, and it gets worse. That's not how development works. The game doesn't just downgrade graphics. It downgrades graphics when it has to support a device, and that was last gen consoles. So that's what I'm getting at in my head. They canceled the last gen version of the game so they can build upon the next gen, so it can be a much polished game. But no, people want something to complain about, and it's why we see hundreds of thousands of videos saying why Gotham Knights is going to be the worst game of 2022.
And the thing is, people are acting like the downgrades are a bad thing, because you could argue that they downgraded the game in order for it to play better than it would originally, for if they do decide to go 4-player co-op, or if they don't decide and they just do 2-player co-op, that's up to them. But I think that personally would be smarter if they're going to go 4-player co-op, to make it more downgraded, more performance wise. And then if you want to turn up your graphics, obviously you're going to have the choice to turn up your graphics.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. Everybody else has these mega PCs and PS5s on next-gen consoles. It's going to look good anyway.
Exactly.
No matter what you do. So, I mean,
but
it's just a nitpick.
I'm gonna do something different than what people have been doing. I'm going to say what looks good about the game, in my opinion, because unlike most people that are going to play the game, I read comic books. So to me, the lore is absolutely amazing. Batman being dead is the best thing that could happen to this game, because it makes you have to focus on the 4 essential members of the Batman family, which is Barbara Gordon Batgirl, Dick Grayson Nightwing, Tim Drake Robin, and Jason Todd Red Hood. Hopefully, we get to see a Damian Wayne. I would love to be able to slice him up with a sword, or maybe a Cassandra Cain Batgirl. That could just be an alternate skin, because she's still Batgirl. We could see a Duke Thomas signal. We could use Stephanie Brown. I mean, obviously, I'm just gonna run in and let her get her ass beat because I don't like her. But a Batwoman, that'd be cool. Honestly, you can just make a Red Hood skin for that one too, because she used guns too. There's so many things that can happen with this game than what we have seen so far. We still know very little about this game outside of gameplay, and they're fighting the Court of Owls. And
half of me wants them to add more characters over time.
Yeah.
But you already know if they do that, they're going to be this is going to solidify, it's Marvel's Avengers. It's just Marvel's Avengers, but in DC.
Nothing can be as bad as Marvel Avengers. Let's be honest.
Nothing.
Hey,
Nothing.
I'm glad this game is not a live service, because I had so much hope for Avengers, man. I was fighting in them trenches for that game when it came out. And then over time I was like, man, This shit
And then they
boring as
said live
hell.
service game, and then yeah.
This shit boring as hell. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't see how you made me hate the characters that I love. Like, you literally made me hate these characters, and it's just like, where did you go wrong?
The only way they're staying like the only way that company, or not company, but the developers are staying on the game is because the people keep feeding into we put the Thor skin for Ragnarok in the game. Come
Right?
buy it. Like,
Yeah,
buy our battle pass.
you have to buy skins because you're trying to make up in the loss of revenue you made because your game is shit. Like, a skin isn't going to make me go back and play that game. Maybe the Black Panther DLC. I actually played the Black Panther DLC. It was actually pretty fucking good. But at the same time, it's Avengers. Like, I'm not like when I'm done with that story DLC, I'm not going to play this game again. Like, I have no reason. I have no need of going to play like PvE with a bunch of people randomly online because none of my friends play the game. So I'm just gonna be playing the game by myself with random people online. Like, I don't feel the need to run around a half city and just fighting the same AIM robots that I've been fighting since the beginning of the game, just for a cosmetic skin that may or may not be different than one I have already.
I even tried to play it after I beat the Black Panther story. I tried to play it for a few hours, and I just go through the same dungeons, the same bosses.
Man. It's just like what else you have? Like, you couldn't did like a PvP mode. Like, let me go fight somebody else's character. Let me go fight like somebody else's Black Widow. Let me go fight someone else's Captain America. Like where's
that would at least spice things up.
Right? Like, where's the diversity at? But that wasn't in Eidos Montreal's. Like, that wasn't in their headspace, or whatever the fuck that studio is called. I wasn't in their headspace. They just want, hey, let's take this really popular IP right now. Marvel is doing really good with movies. Let's take this IP and try to drain some of the hype from it and try to make our game sell good. And when it doesn't, let's take the shit that we promised that was going to be in the game and put it into it so people can be drawn to it to play this mediocre ass gameplay. Like Spider-Man. Oh my god, you literally promised Sony players an exclusive character.
Was so disappointing.
You promised Spider-Man at launch that he was going to be an exclusive character for Sony. Okay, that's good. PlayStation characters get to play Spider-Man. That's cool. You don't release him for 2 years after the game released. And then when you release him, you give us the absolute worst web slinging known to man. Like, literally, Lego Marvel's Avengers has better web slinging than that game.
Did you see the web shooters that he was shooting?
Oh my god. It is horrible. Absolutely horrible. God. But like, people are going to compare Gotham Knights to this game. No. This game already looks promising. Regardless if you don't like the character designs or you don't like what they can do, it still looks more promising than Avengers.
At least when I hit a nigga, he gets impacted.
Man, I feel like I'm actually doing something, and I don't feel like, man, did Avengers even have controller rumble?
Yeah, they did, but
Thor maybe.
Hulk and Thor, like,
yeah, like the two beefy characters, but like you have a whole character that uses guns. I don't feel any gunfire.
And then you got Hulk, who literally is the Hulk, fighting these bosses and doing no net. Like, the live service thing was the biggest mistake they could ever do, and I feel like Gotham Knights dodged a big gigantic bullet by not going live service, because they would have went live service, and yeah, definitely this game, wouldn't buy it.
Man,
buy it
it's just like, in my head, I feel like this is the first time that we're getting a DC game that is not centered around
I agree.
Batman. Oh, hi, Nakia.
I agree. Oh my god, that mic. I have the same one.
Say hi, YouTube.
Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Yeah, we're talking about Gotham Knights. I don't know if you saw the trailer for it recently.
Oh no, I haven't actually.
I'll show you in a second, but we're talking about it because people are deciding to clown on it because a character named Red Hood. You probably know who it is. He's different, so they're clowning on him. He's in like my headspace because I love comic books. I like that in this game, Red Hood is different than all the other Gotham Knight like members, because in the comics, Red Hood is such a different and decisive character. Like he's the only one that has truly known death. He's been dead the longest. He was dead for 5 years until Superboy Prime smashed the multiverse and brought him back to life. And then even then, he still didn't know who he was. He went to Ra's al Ghul, the only person that he remembered before he died, besides the Joker. And Ra's threw him in the Lazarus pit and brought him back, and it broke his mind. So he's the only person that has walked that other side. So obviously he's not going to be the same as Dick Grayson, who is this hopeful, like outgoing person who brings in like hope into. He's a hopeful. He's the light to Batman. It's what he always has been. He's always been the light to Batman. And Tim Drake, who has always been the better version of Batman. He's always been like the more smart one, the more decisive person. And then Barbara Gordon being just the team, like basically the team. I wouldn't call her the team glue, but she has definitely like been out there for the team. Yeah. Like she's like, with her being Oracle, Batgirl, she's always been just like, she's always been an essential member, even if it's behind a TV screen or she's out in the field fighting herself.
Yeah, and a thing I wanted to touch on about like people wanting it to be more like Arkham and being surprised that it's not like Arkham. They literally, before the game was released, said it's not canon to Arkham.
Right.
And people still want it to be canon to Arkham. Is crazy to
me. They just see Batman being dead and like, oh, it takes it after Arkham Knight. No. Yeah. It doesn't.
And Batman's not even dead in Arkham Knight.
We all know Batman's not dead in Arkham Knight. Like dead. We've seen the Suicide Kill the Justice League trailer. We saw the Batmobile. We know that Batman a Batman is going to pop up in that game eventually. Exactly. Like we know that game takes place in the Arkham universe. It does. It's crazy
that's canon though.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Man, that is a crazy ass game to be canon.
That is a crazy game to be canon.
But man, like those are my thoughts basically. I'm going to play the game regardless, get my thoughts. I'll probably do a let's play on it, either on Twitch or on YouTube. But I just feel like people are just overreacting. Like just like give the game time. It still has another 5 months until the game comes out. We literally like what we were talking about earlier. God of War literally looked like hot ass at E3. It looks like ass. Like it was just the hype that we were getting another God of War game where people ignored it. But be honest, the gameplay looked stiff. The graphics were not polished. The game was not finished. Same with what we just saw with Nightwing and Red Hood. That version of the game was not finished. It was last gen. It's not new and it's not next gen. We already saw a next gen version. So I just feel like people need to chill out, just wait for it, keep up with what's going on in the game. I keep up with development with most games that I care about, and I know that right now they are really taking care with this story and these characters, and they want the best for them, unlike Avengers.
Yeah, I feel like in these closing remarks, I feel like a lot of people expect a lot more because the PS5 didn't come out in 2018, so like, we weren't really expecting much for the PS4.
Right.
But now that we have all these graphics and we're showing all these stuff, we want everything to be just amazing. But like amazing,
you have to give the game time. You have to give it time. Like you don't want another Cyberpunk situation where like we force the game to be released when it's not ready and then we complain about it not being ready when, hey, we're the one that did this. Like we as fans, we demanded something so much. We're like, they were forced to release it and it wasn't ready. It's not what the developers wanted it to be. And like looking back at Cyberpunk now, it is a great game. It's like it's so polished, little to no bugs. It runs beautifully. Like, and my friend, he still plays on PS4. He says that he has little to no problems on it. But like that's after the game had its time to actually be what the developers wanted. And so give this game time. It's going to be a great game. I have immense hope for it. I have like immense faith for it. It's going to be a great game. And
what game?
Gotham Knights.
Oh shit, yeah, that game did look pretty fucking cool when Stumpy showed it.
See?
Say hi, YouTube.
He's not gonna say hi. But yeah, I'm basically done.
Yeah, all I can say is I personally pray that they change something about Red Hood's like structure, because He's as big as me. Is the thing. Like, and I don't.
He is the tank of the family. He tanks.
He's big,
He's beefy, bro. He's beefy.
But listen, that's all I got, bro. That's
that
all I
nigga.
got.
That nigga huge.
That's all I got.
But hey, I'm gonna keep up to date with everything going on with the game. I'll probably make another video if they release any more gameplay. Hopefully they release gameplay of like at least like another boss. It doesn't have to be a Core of Hours or a Talon, but maybe we get like some gameplay between Barbara Gordon and Nightwing, or Brett or Tim Drake and Jason. Maybe we see some other gameplay before October. But when that happens, I will definitely make another video about it, give my thoughts on it. But until then, I will see y'all later.